back. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Dual Lens. We are so excited that you're tuning in, and we have another amazing show, another amazing topic for you today. So I wanted to first of all thank you for being here. Thank you for joining, whether on YouTube, Facebook, however is it that you're following us. Thank you. And if you're doing the replay, thank you too. Make sure you put it on the comments. Replay, watching you, comment, share. Tonight's episode is going to be talking about commitment. Why does this generation have such a hard time committing? So we're going to be talking, Lisa say, we're going to be talking about this, and please support us. We are doing such great work here, and we're trying to bring topics that are relevant and will help you, all the singles out there in relationships. And you might say, well, I'm not single. Yeah, but you know somebody who's single, right? So, but I'm not going through that. Yeah, but you know somebody that might be going through the things that we're talking about. So, this information, we're not here to change your mind. We're here to just give you another perspective, bring some understanding of what other people are going through and thoughts, and in that you'll help other, right? So, we're excited to be here again, and I just want to let you know that Ulises and I have a lot of other episodes, a lot of great conversations. You can go to our YouTube channel, and I will put the link again here, and and watch some of the other episodes, and you're going to be surprised. There are so much nuggets in those podcasts. Plus, you will see some comedy moments with Mr. Ulises Vargas. Sometimes he goes on a tangent, or I go out on a tangent, and sometimes we start talking about things that have nothing to do with the topic, but they are hilarious. So if you want to get to know a little bit about who we are, what we stand for, what we're all about, I'm telling you, you want to get to know us? Go to our YouTube channel, watch a couple episodes, and you will see the real us. And maybe, you know what, Elisa, maybe sometime we'll do the after party podcast, because sometimes Ulises and I, after the podcast is over, we'll start talking about things that we either forgot to say or things that we wanted to say but we couldn't say, or just hilarious moments that, oh my God, we have some moments.
We will get in trouble. We will get in so much trouble.
We start talking about things that happen once we go off the air. We like, oh, did you hear that? Did you see that? Did you hear that? Oh my God, what did she say? Or there's been moments where one of our favorite moments that we have talked about. Hola Pri, ¿cómo estás, mi amor? Dios te bendiga. I'm so excited about your house and your baby. You have a lot going on.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes,
congratulations, Pri.
Baby on the way. Baby
oh
on the way.
Goodness. Oh man.
So congratulations. We're so excited for you. So yeah, there's a couple of moments that Ulises and I, while we're doing the podcast, we wanted to laugh, or we wanted to break character, and we just had to hold it in. We won't tell you which ones, because then you'll get to see that, but that's for the VIP people that the hand arms. But sometimes, I mean, podcast is a lot of fun, but when you're going live like we do, I am telling you, if Ulises and I mess up or we say something, we're live. There's no way of me fixing it. You know, you said it, it's out there. We do practice what we're going to say, right? We have some talking points, and we go over the show. So it's not like we just get up here and like, no. We do research. We take our time. We intentionally decide what we're going to talk about. We go over the show, the introduction, and what we're going to say. And so I know sometimes it feels off the cuff. Trust me, Ulises can tell you he does fly off the cuff. I don't. I like to have I send him my notes. I send him my talking points. I send him what we're going to talk about and how we're going to close. And he's like, let's see how it. He's like the hippie of of the podcast. Saludos,
Party on.
Arlene. ¿Cómo estás, mi amiga? Saludos, saludos, Arlene. Ella es mi amiga de Puerto Rico y es una de mis mejores amigas. La conozco a ella más de, no voy a decir tantos años, pero Arlene es un amor. Y Arlene, tengo una noticia para ti, pero te la voy a decir en privado. Tengo un chisme, pero en privado.
Oh,
te, quiero,
snap.
te quiero mucho, Arlene. Gracias por tu apoyo. Thank you so much. Entonces, so we have a lot of episodes and we have a lot of fun moments, and we've been doing this. Ulises has over 5 years. I've been doing it for about 3 years. So podcast is something that we really like to do. We like to bring conversations. And I appreciate all of you who listen to us and write me and write Ulises and tell us that this has helped you, that it has brought light, it has brought a different perspective, and we will continue to do that. But we need your support. The only way we're going to do it is if you click, you share, you support us, you subscribe. I mean, there's quite a few people that tell me, I heard your podcast, it was really good. I heard, and I said, did you follow us? Oh, I forgot. No, that's how you really show support. You need to go to YouTube,
Get on it, people. Get
and
on
subscribe. Boom, it's free. It's free 99. Seriously, I mean, I don't know what else to tell. It is free 99. Y Arlene dice, te quiero mucho. Yo también, Arlene, te quiero mucho, te quiero mucho. All right, so tonight's subject, it's about commitment. So before we get into the recording of it and the introduction, I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was saying that she had been dating this gentleman for about 3 years, and he has not committed. Not even a promise ring, not even, and that they love each other, and he tells her, I don't need to commit. My commitment is me showing up here all the time, and why put it on paper, or why give you a ring and all that stuff. And we that started the whole conversation of this new generation. They're having a difficult time in committing. And my question is it that they don't want to commit? Is it they're having issues? Or is they want to commit? It's just you're not the right person. Oh, so that's the question I had. Does he have an issue committing, or maybe you're not the right person? And that's kind of hard to swallow, because some relationships, they're just up, they're holding the place until the real one comes. So we'll talk some stuff. We'll share some thoughts on the matter. So Ulises, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm doing good. I was sharing with Maria that I'm definitely getting older, because as soon as I was able to clock out of work, I grabbed myself and my blanket into bed and passed out for a good minute or two. I promise y'all, if there was no podcast tonight, nobody would have heard from me till tomorrow. They would have called the FBI, CIA, and this is not like Ulises. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So
today it is.
Today they're gonna learn, as Kevin Hart said, they're gonna learn today. But I'm doing good. I'm super excited about tonight's conversation, because commitment is such a big deal.
Oh yeah.
It is such a big deal in relationships, and what you're willing to commit to, and what people think they are committed to, but truly not. So looking forward to unpacking all of that, and really just diving in, and hopefully y'all can walk away learning a little bit about yourself, what it is that you need to commit to more, or what you see that other people are having issues with, and you're able to run from that relationship, and not waste 3 years of your life, not waste 5 years of your life.
Oh yeah.
Because they're I've when it comes to dating, the one thing that I've learned is that there is, number one, when I first got back into the dating field, I had never heard of the word exclusive until I got back into the dating field, right?
Right. I know, huh?
They were like, "Oh, are we exclusive?" And I'm like, huh? What? What is that? What do you mean when you say exclusive? Like there's no one else is talking to you. You're not talking. I'm not talking to nobody else. You're not talking to nobody else. It was just us just trying to figure out if we're gonna push this thing forward. Oh,
Wow.
okay. So there's a whole new level to this whole dating aspect.
Oh yeah.
Um, but then it's like, and then you know you had the 90-day return policy. I call it a 90-day return policy. In the first 90 days, everything is going to be great.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be fun and lovely. And oh my God, where have you been all my life? And I've heard it all before. I'm sure y'all have too. This is amazing. The first 90 days is going to be amazing. That day 91 is when you really need to start paying attention, because between day 91 to day 120 is when people start getting comfortable.
Yeah.
They start showing, a little bit about themselves. If they're really good, then they're going to hold off to a whole 180 days.
Yeah.
But all that to say, I can see why there's a lot of hesitation when it comes to fully committing.
Absolutely.
Because man, like, people are good at hiding stuff, and you just don't know. Maria, how many times have somebody come up to you and said, I married this guy and I don't even know who he is anymore?
Yep. Yeah.
So hopefully we get to unpack all of that stuff, have fun while we're doing it, but also, make it bring some depth to it and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. At least our goal has always been to start the conversation. That's one of our goals, to start the conversation. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get this started. Here we go. Welcome back to Dual Lens with Maria, where we explore relationships, live, and real conversations from two different perspectives. Tonight's topic is one that so many people are experiencing, but not always talking about, honestly. And that is why this new generation struggles with commitment. Before we get started, I do want to say this. This podcast is based on personal experiences, observations, and opinions. We are not therapists or licensed professionals, but we are two people who have lived, loved, learned, and grown through real life situations. Our goal is simply to create conversation, bring awareness, and maybe help someone see things from a different lens. So let's get started. Luis, woo! So let me ask you the first question. What, in your opinion, is the definition of a committed relationship?
Very, very good question.
You started talking a little bit about what is it? Exclusivity.
Exclusivity.
We
are exclusive. To me, because I haven't looked up the definition, and that was done on purpose. My idea of what commitment is given 100% to whatever it is that you have made a decision to be with. Whoever it is that person is, you made a 100% decision to be willing to humble yourself, willing to be sacrificial, willing to do everything you can to be that person, to be the person that the other individual needs in a relationship. So that's definitely my surface idea of what commitment means. And yourself?
To me, a committed relationship is when both parties have decided to make the relationship formal. In other words, exclusive. In other words, it's just you. I am going to put everybody aside, and I'm only going to concentrate on you, and you're going to be the object of my affection. You're going to be the person I'm going to just, and I am going to stop, entertaining others and talking to others and texting and DMing. It's all about you. That's simple way. That's how I say it.
It's simple, but is it easy?
It's not easy. It's not easy. It really, why? And no, I take that back. It's easy when you like the person. It's easy when you like somebody. It's easy to cut everybody off. Like in my experience, when I commit, like let me put it this way: if once there is a promise ring, I'm done. I cut everybody off. I'm committed
Promise
to that
ring.
person. I start once there's a promise ring or some kind of ring situation on it, even if it's a
What
ring you bought in the little chicle thing, where you put the chicle, and even if it's
the
a
little
fake
Cracker
one,
Jack box,
yeah,
the little plastic.
yes, even if it's one of those rubber things that you buy at Walmart, even if it's one of those, I'll take that. Because there's a
A
serious commitment.
promise ring.
Because
What's
a promise ring, it's not an engagement ring. It's a promise between you. Have you never had a promise ring?
no? I've never
You've
had.
never given a promise.
I've
Let me
never
say. Let me
given a
ask you a
promise
question.
ring. No,
You've
I have
never
never.
given a promise ring.
Never.
Have you given an engagement ring?
I have twice. To my
Twice.
to my ex-wife.
Uh-huh.
So that one was a
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
and then an engagement ring and it will end up being a failed relationship. So,
Wow.
but never a promise ring though. Never a
A
promise
promise.
ring.
A promise ring is a ring that you give when you decide this is serious and we're gonna take it to the next step. But we're not gonna get engaged yet because we don't know.
So what does the man get?
The promise ring is a down payment. That's really what it is. Thinking of
Hold it. We are not moving from this conversation till we get an understanding. Anybody that's listening,
it's
have y'all ever had a promise ring? I need to know.
yes, I just had a promise ring a couple of months ago. Yeah.
How many times?
Once. Because you have to accept it. I've only accepted once. I've been offered a promise ring twice, but I've only accepted once.
I've never heard of this idea.
Ulises, there's a lot of things you haven't heard of that I have to be educating you all the time, sir.
You do. I'm a little slow.
Sir,
I'm a little slow. The idea of hey, I want to give you this ring, whether it be a Cracker Jack box ring or whatever type of ring to show you that we are exclusive. There is nobody else.
There's a whole show right now called Age of Attraction on Hulu. Is it no? On Netflix? I can't remember. I think in Netflix. Hulu, I don't know. Somebody correct me. And in this, there's a whole show where these people are dating, and once they are serious, they say, okay, it's you. Then they go to this room. It's called the promise room, and then they give each other promise rings. And it's not a contract. Relax, chill. It's a promise to say, I'm with you. I'm like, okay, it's you. I'm moving this forward, and we're gonna, this is serious. Then once you say, okay, I'm ready to marry you, I'm gonna marry you, then you give them the engagement. It's a down payment.
It's a
hold. It's like a hold. Like, I'll give you $10 and hold this purse for me. For real.
Wow.
You need to do the research on this. You need to do the research. I can't believe you need to do the research on this.
And I promise you, we will have a segment on the podcast about this promise ring. And I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to crush it and be like, this is why you don't give a promise ring.
Yes, you do give a promise ring because it's a hold. Like, okay, girl, don't go out with anybody else because I am promising to be committed to you. It's like an exclusive.
That's supposed to be verbally agreed upon.
No, you need a ring. You need a ring.
So basically, the girl will put the ring on and be like, hey, I'm spoken for at this moment.
Yep,
so
that's it.
So
don't even look at me. Don't even be in the vicinity of me. Mm-hmm. And he wears one too.
He wears one.
You need to see the show. You need to see the show. Age of Attraction. Yeah. You know what? You need to see it because I'll tell you about after the show. We'll talk about it. But you will probably be a good contestant for it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm not. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
No way.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be
What? What?
transparent. Be
What?
transparent for the people. I am not giving no promise ring.
Why not?
I'm not
You're
gonna do it.
okay. That's fine. You don't want to give a promise ring. That's fine. Go straight to the engagement ring.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now we're talking about commitment right now. So
Okay.
so here's the thing. What I'm willing to verbally tell you, right? If I'm engaging in conversation with somebody
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, you know what, like I'm as the kids say these days, I'm feeling you right now. I'm feeling you right now,
Okay.
you know, and you feeling me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you cut off all the people that you was flirting with. I'll
That's right.
cut off all the people that I was flirting with and talking to.
Yep.
Whatever the case is, it's just us, right? All
Yes.
right, cool. All right, cool. Then you start having a conversation, and you're like, yo, like I'm feeling you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, would you like number one? The I don't even know if people these days even ask somebody out anymore, right? They just
Well,
kind of just
that's part of the problem we're having.
yeah, like there's an assumption of, well, we're just together, right? But and that's a whole other conversation. But then you be like, hey, would you be mine? Would you be my girl? And
Yeah,
and
you give
and
me.
but this is what I'm saying. Like in my head, right?
Uh-huh.
If I'm like, hey, this is who I'm with, this is who I'm choosing to be with. I've already had the conversation of my intentions of dating, right? My
Yeah.
intentions of being with, my intention is to work things out in such a way that I would like to see that if we can be married, right? Like there's no need to have a promise ring for that. Like my word should be my bond. And because I mean, we see it with marriage, whatever the case is. You put a ring on it, it don't matter. Matter of fact, you get even more negative attention when you have a ring than you do when you don't. You know, so it's to me, it's like I'm not going to give you a promise ring. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be intentional about it, and then we're going to go. And then for sure, engagement ring. If and when it happens, but a promise ring.
Well, that's a personal. That's a personal. I mean, you're not obligated to give one. Chill. You're not obligated. Chill. You're not obligated. Relax. Relax. I can see the vein up here. I can see the vein. Nobody.
The smoke is.
You don't have to get one. Okay, so Ulises is not getting nobody a promise ring. Okay, he's going straight for the jugular. He's going straight for the engagement. Good.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, good.
That's it.
This is good for people who can't afford an engagement ring, but they want to put a down payment on it. A promise ring is cool.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do the research, and there's.
I got homework.
Yeah, you got homework, and we'll talk about it. So one of the reasons why, let's go into the reasons why this generation is having sometimes a hard time committing, or they're not committing as fast. And I don't know what got going on here, but okay. So like in my head, I'm like, all right. So number one reason is too many options. This endless scroll effect. Dating apps are creating this sense of there's always somebody better. So there's always somebody better. So they're afraid that I'm going to miss. Like I can't commit to so and so because what if I miss the next guy? What if there was a better choice and there was a better choice? So these dating apps, sometimes we think it helps, but it's just what if the real good one is one swipe away? So we've turned these relationships into shopping. Like let's shop for the best one. Let's shop for the best car, for the best one. Let's keep going, and people become options. So what do you think of dating apps?
I think dating apps do serve their purpose. I do agree that it does give the illusion of options.
Illusion. Oh, I like speak to It gives you the illusion of
Illusion of
What do you mean by
options.
that? That sounds like something smart.
I mean, look.
I'm sorry. Today, I don't know, but
I just look like this. I just look like this, but I'm actually smart. My mama said I
yeah,
smart.
don't let the pretty face fool y'all.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, yo? But no, it gives the illusion of options, right?
Talk about
that. Absolutely. Because when you swipe left or swipe right, whatever the case is, and you are able to have all this plethora, whether it's Facebook dating, whether it's Plenty of Fish, or whether it's Christian Mingle. I mean, I don't.
Harmony.
I heard about these sites. I'm not saying I've been a part of it. I just heard.
I am okay. Can I pause right there?
Oh.
For the sake of research, I've created a profile in all of them. All of them.
For research.
I have. I'm not embarrassed to say they're out there, so y'all see them. Don't be like, oh my God. Yes. Tinder, Plenty of Fish, all of them. I can't remember.
All of it.
All of them. They are a mess. They are a mess. Oh my God, they're a mess. Do you know what the good ones are? I'm gonna say real honest. The good ones are the ones that you pay thousands of dollars, and they will. Yes, there's some dating sites that are very exclusive for rich people, and you pay thousands of dollars. That's high quality dating. I mean, the access to those, I heard I didn't have the $1,000, but there's such for executives and rich people, and it's a whole nother level. They do a deep dive, they do interviews, that they matchmaking style, kind of high level. Rich among the rich. But anyways, so what I'm trying to tell you is that my profile's out there somewhere, so I am so sorry if you come across it. But because you swipe and you see there's another one, and so you're right, you have this illusion that there's a lot of options out there, and not necessarily just because there's a lot of guys out there that doesn't mean they're all for you.
No, and it gives the thought process, right? Because it's like, what if something better shows up, right?
And you missed it,
and that's what, like, I know when I was going through my Facebook dating phase, like that was my thought process. Like, okay, she's cute. Okay, she's cute. Okay, well, we're talking everything, but you know what? What if that next person, is better conversationalist, or likes sports as much as I do, or so there's always this idea that there's, like, we're trying to figure out how to find that perfect fit in our brain and so it gives us this false sense of it's an illusion, because we're trying to find this perfect thing that is not out there. Right. The person you're with is not necessarily going to like everything that you enjoy doing. Like if you enjoy watching chick flicks, then the likelihood of your man watching chick flicks is going to be slim. You know what I'm saying? Like he might watch it because he's trying to show himself that, what, girl, I can hang with you, but get comfortable enough and it's going to be like, nah, I'm good. Right. But it's just one of them things. So it's like, and Tati's saying that she's heard it dating apps but never done one. Do it. Research purposes.
Research purposes, that's what it did. Y queremos darle un saludo a Blanca Nevares, que nos está mirando desde Ciudad México. Un saludo y un abrazote, un abrazo muy fuerte. So Tati, you need to try it, but me and Ulises and I will give you a coaching session privately before you get on them, because girl, I mean, I don't know, you need to brace yourself for the
Facebook dating is free, but you have to be very, very discerning, as the church folk would say, very discerning on who to actually Swipe was a
Yeah.
swipe right. Swipe right. Anyway,
So
um,
let's talk about number two.
mhm.
The number one is too many options. Too many options. We talk about that one. Number two is fear of choosing wrong. So this is what we
Mm,
call analysis paralysis. This
mm.
generation has more awareness, like they're aware of their trauma, red flags, compatibility, but sometimes they know so much. And this is something that I can attest to, because sometimes you know so much about human nature that you just start analyzing people. You start analyzing them, and instead of just relaxing and getting to know them, you start to figure out, okay, what is their trauma, what is their this, what is their that, and it becomes like a therapy session instead of like, hey, let me get to know you. But because we sometimes, when you know too much, you start overthinking every little thing they do, and then you're just like, okay, so what about this and what about that? And if you freeze, so people don't like options. We lack certainty, and that makes people freeze because they want to. He said this, and she said that, and he said this, and what about he said, and what is he thinking? And he paid with cash instead of a debit card. What does that mean? Does that mean he don't have a checking account? Does that mean he's a drug lord? Those are crazy. I
He
mean,
doesn't want his wife to know the bank
yes.
account. So that's
Ándale, there's like,
Mhm.
why does he have an iPhone instead of an Apple phone? I mean,
Whoa,
what does he have an
whoa,
Android instead of an
whoa.
Apple? What does
Calm it
that
down.
mean?
Calm it down. Calm it down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, all
Team
those things.
Android. Team Android.
Hey, team iPhone over here. So what do you think of those people that analyze the heck out of everything?
I think many single people carry wounds from previous relationships. Whether it's betrayal, being cheated on, abandonment, manipulation, just toxic partnership, right? And so I feel like instead of processing the pain, they build these they build these walls to protect themselves from the pain. And so vulnerability is designed for you to drop them walls and expose yourself, even if it means getting hurt. So it's hard, right? Because I don't want to be hurt. Like I got so much baggage that I'm carrying. I got so many, dark secrets that I don't want nobody to know, and whatever the case is. And then I find that person who I feel like I can trust and share these things with. And it's like, and then when I do, they turn it and they use it against me, or they go back and they start telling their cousins and the moms and the uncles and best
Mm,
friends. And it's like, yo, like, like you hurt me at this point.
yeah.
And so there's a, a lot of wounds that instead of me taking the time to heal from, I done moved to the next person
Yeah.
in hopes that they can heal my wounds. Or, and as you said earlier, like what they're doing reminds me of the last person.
Hmm.
So therefore, I'm shutting this thing down without even giving the opportunity
Absolutely.
for to actually see, what, like, because if something reminds me, and this is something that I personally had to grow from, right? Because if something like there was so much hurting that I had to go through,
Hmm.
so much healing that I had to deal with. I didn't even want to date the person that had the same name.
Hmm.
Like, oh, your name is so, oh,
Mm.
red flag, red flag, and it could have been as sweet as all get out, right?
Hmm.
But because I was dealing with so many wounds, I wasn't truly healed. So I had to personally, intentionally take a pause, and I did it for like a good year, where I was just like, focus on me, focus on me, focus on me, focus on me, and my healing, what I need. And then I was able to go out and, and process. And I promise you, I process things so much better. I was able to really recognize what was a red flag. We did a show on this, a couple weeks back, a month ago, whatever it was. Rough red flags versus rough edges.
Yeah.
Was able to identify what the difference between those, what a red flag is and what a rough edge is. And so, but
and let's talk about that. Let's do that. The next one, confusing a red flag with human imperfection. You want to? I know for those who weren't watching the show, go back and watch it. But you want to speak a little bit about what's the difference there on that?
Oh man, yeah. I think what when we are looking at a person and trying to figure out if they're the one, whatever the case is, you don't want to be quick to pull that trigger.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You don't want to be quick to pull that trigger just because something reminds you of a thing. And I was talking to somebody earlier and I was mentioning that and this is just my opinion, right? That I feel like everybody has a little bit of narcissistic traits in them. I said that, but the difference is that healthy people are willing to identify those things and work on it. Unhealed people, they build upon those type of traits.
Yeah.
So, and I mentioned it, and I was like, so, when you're looking at a red flag versus a rough edge will be like, you know what? I don't like when people yell, as an example. And we had an argument and you yelled. The rough edge person would be like, man, you know what? That's true. Like I need to work on that. And I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
And I want and then you see the fruit of that versus a red flag where it's like, girl, I wasn't yelling. I was not yelling. You want to hear me yell? I will yell. And so then they raise the intensity and they raise their voice just to prove I wasn't really yelling at you. But in other words, they're not taking any type of responsibility or accountability, of their actions. And so that's an example of what that type of difference is, versus a rough edge versus a red flag. A rough edge will see what they're doing, that it's not that they're hurting you, and then they'll work on it. A red flag will blame you for it and never take responsibility.
That's crazy. That's good stuff right there. So make sure you go back and because it's true. Sometimes you can overlook a great person just because you are confusing a red flag with just something they can work on, an imperfection. So let's talk about another one. So how about trauma and trust issues? So a lot of times we won't commit because we won't commit into a relationship because we've seen divorce, we've seen toxic relationships, we've seen infidelity, and now we go into relationships or we don't enter because we're so guarded. No. Let's just be friends with benefits because my parents got divorced or because so many toxic relationships, and they want love, but they don't feel safe enough to stay in a relationship, to be committed. Because what we're talking about is people are having a hard time staying committed in one relationship, making it work. And it's work. If something is worthwhile, it's going to be work. It's going to be hard work. And if a lot of times we just come from this mentality that we know so much, we know about traumas, we know about this, we know about that. And then we see red flags and we're over analyzing. We're not trusting. We just are in so much in our heads looking for every little excuse that we don't give anybody grace. We don't give anybody time to grow. We don't give patience. We're not patient with people and in relationships, and I've been, a relationship where I'm guilty of that. I am guilty of serial dating because I would date somebody and one red flag, I'm out. One wrong thing, I'm out. But some of them I try to stay, and I got good stories out of it, but I got sprinkles. I got the tongue. I got so many stories, but because I I learned that I can't overanalyze every little thing. I can't just dismiss people because they drink out of a straw instead of this, or they eat with forks, or they don't, or they eat with their hand. Just little things like that, or just so many things that we overlook, that we don't give people a chance. Like, I would say I'm a good person. Why don't they give me a chance? Is because I probably did a lot of things that gave them red flag vibes, and they dismiss me. So that's not fair, because you need to allow room for people to grow. That's why when you like somebody, and stay committed, don't just right off the bat you see a couple of things you don't like and dismiss them. Give them time to work it out. Give them time to process. That's why dating needs to be a long process, so there's time to really reflect on these things and make that commitment. So stay committed to work on the relationship. Give the girl a promise ring. Well, Lisa's don't believe in promise rings, so that's gonna be.
I don't believe in promise ring. That's trauma. That's relationship trauma.
So let's go on to the next one: independence over interdependence.
Well, before we do,
go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Before we do, the one thing I want to add to that whole trauma aspect real quick. Something that I've learned is that that trauma it doesn't just affect how you feel, right? You've been through the betrayal, you've been through the manipulation, you've been through all that. It doesn't just affect how you feel, but it also affects how you interpret what you're looking at. If you're not healed from it, a healthy correction, as an example, can look like some form of rejection, right? That somebody is trying to correct you in love, or give you constructive criticism. Your trauma, based off of your last relationship, will interpret it as rejection. Sometimes, when someone says, "Hey, man, like we're this conversation about to go a whole other direction.
Yeah,
I really just need time just to process what you're saying." And so you would interpret their silence,
yeah,
as some form of abandonment,
mm-hmm.
right? Or boundaries can feel like you don't love them, or that you don't care about them, and that you're creating some love, some a form of distance.
Yeah.
And then or like, my biggest thing that I've been on lately is accountability.
Yeah.
If I hold you accountable, your interpretation of that might feel like I'm attacking you.
Yeah.
But the truth is that I'm holding you accountable for what it is that you did. So my small little 2 cents on that is that trauma just doesn't affect how you feel. It affects how you interpret what you're looking at.
Absolutely. So let's go into the next one, which is independence over interdependence. So basically what that means is that when someone tries to be too independent and they've mastered the independent, they forget to build. They're just like, it's all about me and I'm independent. And that's why I don't want to commit, because I just don't want to be tied to anybody. I've done this and I've done that. So they push away the idea that there's certain things, like a relationship, that's going to take the both of you and work together and build a future together, build a home, build a relationship, work on some goals, work on some different things that you need to work on. So a lot of times that's why they don't want to commit. They are afraid that if they get into a relationship, they're going to lose themselves and the hard work they've done. And they're just going to blend in and just disappear and be invisible. That's one of the things, and I'm going to be transparent. That's one of the things I deal with. I mean, I know that I've had
to
work.
Independent. You missed independent.
Independent, yeah. But because I've been so independent for such a long time. I've been so independent that I have found it difficult that once I'm in a relationship, that I need to depend on somebody, and that I don't know how to build. I don't know how to say, okay, let's work on this together. Let's figure this out. I'm like, what do you mean I have to have somebody? What? I have to have somebody? What? No. By the time you went for the milk, I was already coming back with a cottage cheese. So so that's one thing that I've had to deal with is not to be so hyper independent and learn again to build with somebody. Have the
Mhm.
patience to wait on somebody's pace. That if I'm go, it's not just me walking now. I'm walking with somebody, and now let me change my pace so we're walking together.
That makes perfect sense because what that tells me is that what you're saying is, and what other people are probably going through as well, is that freedom has become your identity,
Yes.
right? That you've been single for so long that your lifestyle becomes deeply independent. And
Yes.
and 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 I'm with you because I'm right there with you because it's like I've the idea that I'm used to making every decision alone.
You've created this amazing life by yourself, perfectly curated for
Oh man,
you.
that
Perfectly curated for you.
that I can go to sleep whenever I want. And, oh, I can eat whatever I want, and I
Mm,
don't have nobody behind my. You shouldn't be drinking that. You shouldn't be eating that because it's not because
it's not healthy.
it's not healthy for you. And I love you, but you gain a little bit of weight, and
You
and it's
little
like
Winnie Pooh. You little Winnie Pooh.
you don't like this
Dad bod.
kung fu panda
Oh my
pose,
God.
you know,
No, no,
you know.
no.
But at the end of the day, when you are
Hyper independent.
when you're hyper independent, commitment can feel like you're losing control
Yes, you're losing yourself. You're going to blend in and disappear, and it's not
Be-
true.
because technically, I mean, you are losing yourself. But to
But you
me,
become a new person.
thank you. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. The idea of when you are in a committed relationship, you're supposed to be
Yep.
something different,
Yeah.
and that is so hard to comprehend. But it's the idea of the scripture: when two shall become one.
Yes.
It's saying, hey, your identity and my identity, and then there's the identity that God wants us to have. And so what you're used to, what you want to do, how you used to do it, how you want to do it, when and where and when, and
Yep.
it's going to change, your mindset. It's going to change what you believe. You're right. My focus now is not going to be just me. It's going to be us. What
Absolutely.
what benefits us? Every decision I make, how's it going to affect us?
Yeah.
And so if you don't do that, then you're missing out on a beautiful connection. You really
Because
are.
the thing is that you want how we want a relationship, right? We want a relationship, but we don't want to build a relationship. We want the
Ooh,
benefits of a relationship, but we're not willing to commit to a relationship. So, I
ooh.
mean, it's like, you got to build a relationship. You got to build it. It's just not happen overnight. You have to. And this is the next thing that we're going to talk about is this instant gratification mindset. And this instant gratification mindset that everything has to be today, fast. I mean, food is delivered fast. Uh, Amazon's delivered fast, entertainment, right? On the tip of your click, your fingers. And we have created this now, 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 now. Like, I want a relationship. Boom, let's have it now. I want a man in my life that loves me. Boom. I mean, you can't. We're talking about human, we're talking about relationship. So this instant gratification that we are so accustomed to, that's why people don't commit, because they want a relationship just like that. They want this just like that. But having a relationship takes time, people. It takes time. I'm talking about a good relationship. I'm not talking about, just a fling, or no. You want a good relationship that is leading to marriage, that is leading to something. You got to put the work in it. You've got to be patient with the man. You've got to be patient with him till he decides he wants to marry you.
Because I'm
You've got
stubborn.
to be
I'm stubborn.
patient. You've got to be patient with him when he don't understand that you want a promise ring. You have to be patient. You have to be patient. But then you have to balance everything. You have to balance. I mean, it's okay to be patient, but but tampoco don't waste your time either. Get a hint. So, what would you tell? Now, let's talk about something we talked about earlier, you and I. That this girl been waiting 3 years for a commitment, for a ring, and he hasn't done it. When is enough is enough?
Ooh. Oh,
Hey Joe, hey Joe, how are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I mean, good to hear from you. Good to read you. Hope all is doing well. Hi back. So let's ask your question. When does a man know that's a good woman to have a commitment with?
I would, in my personal opinion, professional opinion.
We're not professionals. We're not therapists.
I am a professional opinionator.
Oh, there you go. Professional opinionator. Okay, good.
Yes.
I like that title. Okay.
Glory to God.
When does a man know that she's the one?
Definitely within a year. I would give any relationship a year. Within a year, if there's at least no plans to get married, then that is to me that is a caution flag of that you have to pay attention to. If you've been dating a year and everything's going great, no major issues, because we all know relationships are going to have their drama, whatever the case is. But if there's no major issues, then if after a year, if there is no, okay, this is the game plan, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
How are we going to do it? What's the money it's going to take? What type of wedding do you want? Do you even want a wedding? Do you want it? Like all these conversations should be had before the year is out. And if there's none of that, or if there is, we will get married, and then just no more conversation after that.
No future plans.
No future plans, and then that is a conversation to be had. Can
a man use a woman as a placeholder until the real one comes?
But then that goes into the whole illusion of choices, right? Because God, if you're waiting 3 years to find out if there's somebody else, then girl or dude, run, because that person is never going to be satisfied with you. If they haven't cheated on you, they will. And it doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be physical for them to be non-committal to you. It could be emotional. It could be, the fact that they're not giving you 100% care that you need, attention that you need, love that you need. Like, you will find yourself in a place of lack throughout the relationship if you don't take care of you.
I personally, I feel different. I believe that a man, you all are very simple. Men are simple.
Huh?
Men are simple. They know it doesn't take them. They might take a year to process that. They might take a year to process that, sir. But men know. I would say, honestly, in my experience, within 2 weeks, they know. They know if she's the one or not. But they process different by the time he tells her. By the time, no, Lisa, because you is old and you're in a whole nother ball game. It's gonna take you a year to know she's the one. No. Explain yourself.
This is what I was saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I will say is that there are people who I I know people, right,
Yes.
that have been turned down before.
Okay.
And so there's this I there's this, it's the whole instant gratification that you were just talking about, where it's like the excitement of the relationship is brand new, it's amazing, it's great, the new car smell. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, this is amazing. Let me lock it down now before she realizes who I truly am, and then cuts me off like the last relationships.
Yeah.
So there's a danger. And when somebody is quick to be like, I already know, girl, I know we've only been dating for 3 weeks, 2 days, 9 hours, 14 minutes, 27 seconds. But I just want you to know, girl,
He the one. He the one. He the one.
man, I last Sunday I preached a message, right? And part of the message was hearing from God. That's the whole idea of the message, was hearing from the Lord. And I was like, hey, like, how many of y'all? And I brought the scenario. How many of y'all been, for those who are single, like y'all are dating, and then you're 2 weeks in, 3 weeks into this whole dating thing, and the person says, "I just want to tell you that the Lord showed
Ooh,
me
no.
that you the one for me," right? So, and it's like everybody was they laughed, whatever the case was, and it's like, but then I called them out. I was like, y'all are quick to discern that that wasn't the Lord, but then then you claim you have issues hearing from the Lord in other scenarios,
Wow, that's true.
right? So,
That's true.
so I would say, you hear stories about people who date, get married in a month, 3 months, whatever the case is, and then now they're married for 55 years, right? But then you also hear other scenarios where the excitement of something ends up being the detriment of the whole relationship, because
Absolutely.
to what I pointed out when I asked you earlier, how many times have you heard people tell you, I don't even know who I married?
Exactly.
Because they didn't take time. And so it's like, men, I I'm a brother. I love you. I appreciate all of men. I'm in a position
I'm
where
for you.
I minister to men. I'm on your side. I am on your side. However, ladies, I need you to be careful with these men who have this idea that a 1 month, 2 month in, that they want to marry you. A girl, if you just say yes right now,
Right now. We'll go right now to the courthouse.
because most of them are afraid, that there's a fear that they've been, especially us in our older age. And I'm not talking about those who are like 21, 22, because y'all haven't lived anything,
They haven't.
right? But those who are our age, they've dealt with rejection.
Yes.
They've dealt with pain. They've dealt with hurt. So I'm not minimizing how you are, the fear that you have of losing something. But men, if you don't get that healing that you need,
Amen.
if you don't get that therapy that you need, you're gonna be jumping from relationship to relationship, trying to lock something down and trying to find the first person that says yes and sticks with it. And then you're gonna find yourself in a position where you realize, oh man, I made a mistake. But
Yeah.
no, both of y'all made the mistake.
Yeah.
And both of y'all are going to end up hurting. And now there's more drama, there's more trauma, there's more hurt, and then you're going to wonder why you're single.
Yeah.
It's,
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's because healed people can recognize a broken person a mile away,
You sure
and, it,
can. You
and
sure
we're
can.
not judging. We are not judging. Like, you guys need healing, ladies. You need to heal. Your trauma, how you were raised, all that stuff plays into how you view relationships.
Exactly.
Your fear of being hurt, your fear of abandonment, your fear of, take your pick. At the end of the day, if you don't get that healing you need, a healed
Amen.
person will try you out. But once they figure you out,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right there.
once they figure you out,
Yep, they sure
it's
do.
over because
Like you said.
eventually they're gonna figure you out. Whether you tricked them to marriage or whether
Yeah.
they were or whether they didn't want to get married until they was sure 100% sure
Yeah.
themselves, they're gonna figure you out. And then you're gonna blame them, and you're gonna go back into this big old nasty little cycle
Yeah.
of nobody wants me.
Yeah.
No, and the truth is it's not that they don't want you, is that you refuse to heal.
Yeah.
You
And you keep looking,
refuse.
you keep repeating patterns.
Oh,
You
come
keep
on.
repeating patterns, and we'll do another show of this because sometimes what you saw mirrored in your parents, you look for that in a partner if you don't get healed, because that's what you're comfortable with. So that's what you look for, and you'll repeat those same patterns. You will look for that mom, for that dad, for that person that hurt you, and you'll repeat that pattern because your wounded soul looks for that because that's what
Yeah.
knows that craziness, that toxicity is what it knows. That's what internally you develop as love, that you recognize as love, that toxicity, that animosity, that coldness. That is what you recognize as normal to you, to your trauma, and you're drawn to that. You don't know why, and you're like, I just married my dad. I just married somebody like my mom because that's a trauma. Well, we'll get into that, but that's another episode to talk about what you are attracted to, because they trigger something in you. They just trigger that, and you have to recognize and change those patterns. That's why you see women, they're so attracted to narcissists because they're trying to heal that relationship that they've had with the parentals. And it's just so much into it that I'm not a professional therapist. I'm just talking about experience, but
I'm a professional opinionator.
We're professional opinionators. That's good.
And what it boils down to is that people confuse chemistry with compatibility.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, hallelujah. Yeah, that's true right there. Yeah. Oh my God. That's another episode. We need to talk about that.
Another episode.
Because people will confuse chemistry, and you can have amazing chemistry, but you are not compatible, because once you live your life day by day, it is crazy how you're like, wait a minute. I thought when I kissed him, I felt sparks. I felt this, and the ground shook, and my blood started flowing, blah, blah, blah. But you don't believe the same. You don't walk the same. You don't
talk the same.
You have different things that are matter to you. He don't fit in your life. You don't fit in his. Yes, there's sparks. Yes, I was gonna say something that was gonna kick you.
Sex is great. Sex is great.
No, we ain't talking about that. No, okay. Don't give me shut down, sir. No, there's certain things that they're off the chart. The chemistry, it is amazing. That chemical reaction, and it's just out there. But are you compatible financially? Are you compatible spiritually? Are you compatible emotionally? We'll talk about that. We've talked about a couple of things in other episodes and other stuff. So there's a lot of YouTube videos and shows that we've done about this, but sir, that is right. So thank you so much for watching. It's been a great show. Hopefully we started the conversation, and this is, you guys, if there's a subject you guys want to talk about, we will tackle it the best way we can. So thank you for tuning in, and these are great conversation starters. So Ulises, close us out.
Absolutely. You know what? At the end of the day, commitment is not about finding someone perfect. It's really about finding someone worthy of building.
Finding somebody worthy of building. Woo!
Mic drop. Not
this one. It's expensive, but you gotta find somebody worth building with. Yeah.
So there's obviously there's nobody perfect, but can you build with the person that you are talking to, that
That's
you're
right.
with?
Rubén, saludos, saludos desde Puerto Rico, saludos.
Another Puerto Rican.
Another
Come on, we
saludos,
taking over.
besos y
We
abrazos,
taking over on the
saludos, saludos, saludos.
2026. We taking over. So, but yeah, so commitment is major. It's important in any relationship, and we hope that the conversation today, really sparks that really thought process of how can I better commit, or at the very least, what to look out for when it comes to people who say they're committed, but they're really not. Um, and again, if you heal, if you heal, you'll be able to spot a broken person a mile away. And if that broken person, chooses not to be a rough edge versus a red flag, then you know that difference too. We're all broken. We all need healing, and we're all continuing to heal. If you don't want to heal, don't blame other people.
Oh, yeah.
Take accountability.
Absolutely.
Take accountability. If the other person refuses to take accountability, where's my microphone?
Say it loud. Say it loud.
Run, run. That's my one word counseling session that I'll be charging $5 for after this show.
Oh my
Anything
God.
after the show, I'm gonna be charging $5. One word count. Run.
Yeah.
But I love him. No.
Yeah.
Stop. Run. So, but outside of that, listen.
This is a good show. They need to go back all the way to if you just tuned in, go back to the beginning, because we've talked about some really good things. Why we need to commit. Just give it. Uli says, give that girl a promise ring. Do the right thing. Do the research.
I'm gonna do the research.
When you find her, give her a promise ring.
I'm gonna do that research, but there will be, you know what? I'm gonna reserve that. You know what, Maria? You're right. I'm gonna reserve that. I'm gonna wait till I do this extensive research study, in-depth, Holy Spirit filled, God anointed, revelation.
Válgame Dios.
That only the Lord, this flesh and blood has not revealed this to me type of stuff, because it is important to understand that
promise rings have been around for a long, long time, sir. You're just a little old. So.
Yo, the only promise ring that I remember was the True Love Waits promise ring. I don't know if you remember that, where they had all the youth.
They still have that. They still do that.
I think they do. I'm not sure, but I did it. And I'm going to be honest with y'all.
Oh, don't.
Do we have time? Do we have time?
We have time, but okay, we got 2 minutes. Go.
We got time for Chisme?
Yes, always have time for Chisme. We'll start a whole podcast. We'll start the podcast from the beginning. Welcome to Dueling. Today we have this is the after show, people. This is the after show. This is the after show.
So my parents were pastors, right, in El Paso, Texas, and in the youth group we did a whole True Love Waits thing, right? And so we went through all the classes, whatever the case was, and then we had a little ceremony at church service, where they had all the youth repeat certain things that they won't do until they're married. I did not repeat everything that was asked to be repeated because I wasn't quite sure if I was.
Do it.
Yeah, I was like, you promised not to, have sex before marriage. I was like, no.
You were mumbling. You were mumbling.
If you promise not, if you keep yourself pure from X, Y, and Z, you repeat after me, and I was like, no. I just opened my mouth.
My God, what is this?
Yeah. I'm being honest and transparent. I was like, I don't know about that one, because, So I didn't repeat everything that was said, because at the end of the day, I didn't want to be a liar to God.
Yeah, and it is a commitment to God, in front of God, so you don't want to, you don't want to lie. Yeah.
I knew me, and I knew that I was already getting attention from females in high school, so I was like, you know what?
This might not. Yeah. Let me keep my options open.
I'm sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry. So yeah, so that is my confession. I have never confessed that to anybody before.
Now you confessed it to all the 12 people that are right now watching us.
Everybody that is watching,
and all the 6,000 followers that we have together.
Right, on Instagram, social media, TikTok, all at the same time. And the many who will be watching later on. Yes, I made sure that I let my yays be yays and my no's be no's. Even if everybody else was like, "Oh man, Ulysses is so great. Look at him, just standing up there and just repeating the words and making sure that he is so innocent." But I will say this though. I will say this in closing. Because that's how we pass this due. In closing, I was a virgin when I got married.
Good for you.
I want everybody to know I was a virgin when I got married.
Good for you.
Only because my mama,
she's scared. She scared you.
She said, if you bring anybody to the house pregnant, I'm personally chopping off that pee-pee.
Oh my God. You can't say that stuff.
What she said. She said, I'm going to personally chop off that pee-pee if you get something. So I was like, you know what?
You're like,
you know what? I've heard of act, in El Paso, there's Parkland High School in El Paso, which when I was going through that high school, it was considered like the worst school, one of the worst schools in El Paso. Like they were sending all of the rejects to Parkland High School, and a whole lot of pregnant people. And I was like, yo, I don't want to. Like I want to be a daddy. I just don't want to be a daddy right now. So so thanks. So shout out to my mama for threatening to cut off my pee-pee.
It worked. It worked.
It did its thing. But everything else, I can't confirm nor deny the allegations. But anyway, so outside of that, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. Tune back again next week as we have some more hard-hitting, engaging conversation. Make sure you heart this video if you haven't done already. Make sure you heart the video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share this post to everybody that you know that needs to know about when it comes to commitment. Continue to support this channel. Support what it is that we're doing. The things that we talk about, it is important, and everybody needs to know what it means to commit. So again, we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, and join us next week for another edition of the Dual Lens Podcast.